Hello. Today I'm going to share something really quick with you that I hope might be helpful. I'm not a big fan of morning routines. I think they're great for people for whom they work. I think also for people for whom they don't. I don't like the pressure of saying that you need to have one. I have a small child and my mornings are hectic, and so I don't have a really great morning routine, but I'm okay with that. This is the season of my life and that's okay. Doesn't mean that I can't be successful without having some fancy and very hardcore morning routine. And I think you can be as well. I think you should do what feels good for you. That said, I also think there is a power in setting some intentions for yourself each day. And whether that happens first thing in the morning or later in your day, I do think it's important at some point to take a moment to just sit with yourself and ask yourself a few questions that help you set intentions for how you want to show up in the day. And I do that usually on the days when I can, because I also think we need to have grace with ourselves and compassion when we can't make it happen. But on the days when I can, particularly the days when I'm working, I only have 3 office work days. So on those 3 days, when I sit down at my desk, I like to ask myself 4 questions that help me get my head in the right space for the day, help me be really intentional about my time. So I want to share those with you in the hopes that they may be helpful to you as you go about planning your days and setting intentions and getting your mindset in the right space to have the kinds of days that feel great. So the 4 questions are: first, how can I move even incrementally closer to my big goal today? So whatever that is, having a clear understanding of your goal, now that can be your deeper why, which for me is how could I move even incrementally closer to smashing patriarchy today? That can be the big why of your goal and what your life's mission is, or it can be a smaller goal, meaning it could be the goal you've set for the year or a current project you're working on. So however you want to define goal, each day asking yourself, what's one thing that I can do to move incrementally closer to that goal? I'm not saying, how can I crush that goal today? How can I make sure I finish that goal today? What's one big swing for the fences thing I can do? I like to focus small, which is very different than what a lot of people teach. But I actually think those small steps add up quickly because we can actually accomplish them. And soon we actually feel like we're making a difference in what we're working on. Instead of trying these big things where we're like, oh, I'm going to finish everything today. It's not possible. I don't do it. And then at the end of the day, I feel bad and I take a step back. So what's one thing I can do, even small, to move incrementally closer to my goal? That's the first question. The second question is, how can I live into my values today? I think it's really important that we understand what our values are. And I don't mean values in the way that other people talk about them. I'm not saying look at some list of words, inspirational words, and pick a couple of them that sound really nice or that feel good. I'm talking about getting a clear understanding of what actually makes you feel good, what brings you into a state of contentment. Not about where are you finding bliss per se, and those spikes of happiness, not the high that we're chasing of happiness, but just what brings you into a state of contentment, a flow state where you feel good. What are those things, and then what value are they servicing? And getting clear about those values is really important to help you then start creating days that feel good, even if nothing else changes. So for me, I know that community and connection is really important to me. So then I can ask myself in that morning when I say, how can I live into my values today? If I have a whole day like today where I'm just recording video, I can think about, ooh, that's going to be a day where I won't have a lot of connection. How can I integrate more connection into my day and still do the things I need to get done? So it might be, like I did, I'm going to take a few minutes to text a few friends and hear from them so that I can have that moment of connection. Your values may be something different, but it's thinking about how can I weave them into my day and being thoughtful about it by starting the day and saying, how can I live into my values today? If we don't ask, then we won't do it. The third question I like to ask is, how can I express gratitude today? Now, to me, expressing gratitude means actually displaying and showing gratitude. Not just how can I be grateful, meaning like, I'll write a couple things down that I'm grateful for. While I think that that's powerful and helpful, it's not the same as actually showing our gratitude, expressing it to others. And we all know, I hope you know, there's so much research that shows the power of gratitude and how much that does to shift how we feel about ourselves and our situation. So thinking about how can you express your gratitude when you have that display and show of gratitude, it helps really bring yourself into an abundance and gratitude mindset. And that can change how you feel about yourself in your day. The last question I like to ask that I think is perhaps the most powerful because it's one that most of us don't ever really think about is how can I show myself some love today? That's right, putting yourself first. We aren't conditioned to do that. We're conditioned to put everyone else first and worry about everyone else's needs. So I like to make sure that I take a moment to think about how can I show myself some love today? And for me today, that meant putting on a shirt, this sweater that's really soft and cozy, doing my hair and putting on some makeup so that I felt really good as I do these videos. And I'm also going to have something nice to eat. So it's thinking about how can I show myself some love today. So again, the 4 questions I like to ask myself each day, whether that's in a morning routine or just when I get to my desk, is how can I move even incrementally closer to my big goal today? Or any goal today? How can I live into my values today? How can I show my gratitude today? And how can I show myself some love today? I think that these 4 questions can be really powerful and super helpful in creating days that feel amazing, both for yourself and for those around you. So I hope that you find those useful. If you do, give this a follow, share a review, share it with someone else, and I really appreciate you being here and being in my world.